Hey kids, Mr. Scott here. I know it's been a crazy week. I know things have been a little bit different probably at your house, and it's been different at my house too. This is some of my side yard. There's just a little bit of snow left. Most of it's melted, and that may be happening at your house too. But we sure had a lot of snow. We had a lot of ice this week, and it changed a lot of things from what we usually do. So Miss Becca and I couldn't get together to do a video this week, so she sent me something, and I'm going to share that with you right now.
Hey kids! I know this week has been really hard. Currently, I am just boiling snow in my kitchen on a camper stove so that I can take a bath. I bet some of you have some pretty crazy stories, and I really look forward to hearing all of them. But I'm praying for you. We can get through this, and I look forward to seeing you again. You want to see some of the snow melting and the icicles around my house? Ooh. Oh, that one was as big as my husband. I bet you guys have some giant ones too. Look at that! Snow is cold, but it's pretty. And I'm grateful every day that God gives us something beautiful to look at, even when times are hard. Love you guys.
Miss Becca and her husband Cody, they live out in the country, and it got really cold this week, especially out in the country. And they lost power and had no electricity, and it got pretty cold for them, and they have a lot of animals to take care of, and they had to do all of that. That's why Miss Becca had to be melting snow to be able to take a bath, because they didn't have water. It froze up too. Here's some pictures of what they had to deal with. Well, some of that looks kind of neat, and some of that looked kind of really difficult. I don't know about having chickens inside of a dog kennel and having to take care of all those kind of animals while it gets cold. But Miss Becca talked about she had to do all that, but she was still happy. She was thankful for pretty snow, and she was okay with the things that gone on because she could trust in God. Well, there's a guy named Paul, and he wrote to a bunch of Christians a long time ago in a book called Philippians. It was a letter he wrote to them. And Paul was a guy who he had a lot of problems as he was telling other people about Jesus. People were mean to him, they beat him up, he got thrown in jail, he got shipwrecked, sometimes he went without food. And he wrote this to these people in the town of Philippi to let them know about something when they're dealing with hard times like we dealt with this week. And he says, I've learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. Now, content, that's a pretty big word, but really it means just happy and okay with it. Not necessarily, saying that it's all good, but he learned to be content in all circumstances. He says, I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty. I've learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or whether in plenty or in want. And then he says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Now, sometimes you may have heard of that verse saying, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And people will tell you, see, you can do whatever you need to do. God can give you the strength. And that's true. God can take care of you. Jesus can take care of you. But what Paul's trying to tell us is we can handle all those crazy circumstances when we've got electricity or no electricity, when we have water or no water, when we're freezing cold or we're nice and warm. He said, you can learn to be content, to be happy because of Jesus. He can give you the strength to, another way to say it, to handle all those things or to endure all those things, to make it through all those things. So Paul wanted to remind all of us that no matter what's going on around us, whether there's snow and ice or it's nice and sunny and warm, that we can be content because Jesus is enough for all of us. Even when things go bad, Jesus is there for us. Well, I know you probably had some hard times this week where it was really hard to be content. Well, I understand that. But with Jesus, we can rethink things. When things are going bad, we can stop and say, time out, pause. How can I do this? How can I make it through this because of Jesus, with Jesus helping me, and maybe have a little bit better attitude when things go wrong. Well, I've got some questions and activities attached to this about how you can learn to be content, whatever the circumstances, whether you got a lot or you got a little, and how you can maybe manage some of those things to always be content and not worry about things because you've got Jesus. Well, we hope to be back together again with Miss Becca and I next week to shoot a video, and we'll see you then. Love you guys. Bye.